favorite Jersey girl, Robin DeLory. It's the King and the Cop. Now, here's Tommy, Jimmy, and Robin.
Brendan, Eddie, last night at the Lords of 52nd Street, Jimmy and I went to the concert. You're with Tommy Setner, Jimmy Leyritz, and we actually have Robin DeLory live today on King and the Cop. Jimmy, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. What a terrific night last night. You know, it's one of those things that sometimes when you go to a concert and you know that it's the guys that played back in the 70s and 80s and are now 70, 71, 73 years old, you don't go in with a lot of high hopes, Tommy. And you know what? We went there kind of – my buddy Steve Canada, who owns a Smithtown Toyota, you know, he said his brother Richie Canada, who's the saxophone player for Billy Joel, and he goes, "Listen, they're putting on a concert tonight. You guys should come." And we're like, "Okay, yeah, sure, we'll go. We'll check it out." Tommy, I'm telling you, I closed my eyes, I listened. I thought I was at Billy Joel's concert in 1985.
I had chills up my spine, and by the end of the night, my wife was laughing because I was texting. I was standing up singing with everybody else. I mean, Billy Joel's my favorite, but you're right. You didn't even look to the right. And by the way, who played Billy Joel? I forget what was his name?
Dan Orlando.
Dan Orlando was the lead singer. He wasn't even born when they started touring, and he was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you had Richie Canada on the sax. You had Liberty DeVito on the drums.
How about Liberty DeVito?
Yep, and Russell Jover is on the guitar. The three originals, the OGs from Billy Joel's band.
You know, and before we go into where we're at and talk to Robin, we went backstage then because Steve set it up with Richie, and what an honor to meet those guys. And then we get a picture. And, of course, your old friend there, Goose Gossage, is there, Hall of Famer Goose Gossage.
Yeah, so it's hilarious, right?
Yeah, it's just, the first thing Richie does before they even start the great songs last night. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome to the crowd Jimmy Leyritz and Goose Gossage, and the people go crazy because they're all Yankee fans down there. I don't know who roots for Tampa. Now I'm raised. There's a lot of Yankee fans down there, right, Jimmy? It's amazing. It was what a fun night. But today, so we had this fun night for 7 or 10 days. I've been down in Tampa, obviously loving Tampa, supporting Tampa, living down there half of the time now. 80 degrees every day, Yankee games, Toronto Blue Jay games, and Robin decided that we should go remote live. And I thought we were going to be in Delory Studios, but she surprised us and set us up. Her son is playing Northeast High School baseball against my son-in-law today in Old Bridge, New Jersey. My son-in-law, the head coach, Matt Donahue, and the aforementioned Michael Philippone on Hanover High School. And Robin, we love you and we appreciate you, but it's about to snow. It's 45 degrees. We left 80 degrees.
Hey, Tommy, look behind you.
Tommy, I love you too. Guess who else loves you?
Oh, wait a minute.
This is another reason we're here.
This is the main reason, because my grandson, who will be on this field in about 15 years, just pulled up behind me, Maxwell Thomas. So
and your beautiful daughter.
Yep, and my daughter Samantha. He's just waking up. Hi, Maxie. How you doing, bud? He's here to see his dad, and he gives all the players knuckles.
All right.
He gives knuckles. Speaking of knuckles, tonight, St. Peter's is the showcase. But Jimmy, are you drowning in your pool, or after last night more upsets? What's going on?
Well, it's been a crazy, crazy Final 64, and March Madness has lived up to its name. And last night, we have what I consider probably last night my favorite victory was Duke beating Texas Tech 78-73, and Coach K still not done coaching yet.
No, we were both pulling for him. We were trying to sneak a peek during the concert, but good for Coach K.
Yeah, Coach K gets the victory, and then of course the bigger upset. Well, actually, two big upsets. We had Houston 72-60 over Arizona.
Yep.
And Arkansas. Now, this was great. So Arkansas defeats number 1 Gonzaga 74-68, and then they're interviewing all the guys, and they're like, 92% of the every publication that you read, we weren't supposed to win. We were the underdog. And then the coach comes on and goes, keep writing about us. Keep writing about us.
Right.
We want you to write as much as you can because we keep winning because of you. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And New Jersey's a buzz. We're at a freezing cold baseball game right now, but we're going to warm up later and watch St. Peter's. I think they go on at 7:00 tonight. And, I'm laughing because everybody's a St. Peter's fan today. I read an article today by one of the sports writers who said Seton Hall, Rutgers, Drew, all these different schools. Oh, by the way, it's St. Peter's in the Sweet 16. And so that'll be a fun game to watch tonight.
Our rundown tonight, we got St. Peter's and Purdue at 7:09. We got Providence versus Kansas at 7:29. We have UNC, UCLA at 9:39, and then Iowa State, Miami, the number 10 and 11 seeds still left at 9:59. So another exciting night of NCAA basketball.
And after what we're doing today, I think I'm going to be looking forward to being inside watching it. Hey, you know what I just realized, thanks to my son-in-law?
Guys, we're not getting anything.
I don't know what that noise is. You're not getting anything at all from them?
No.
I don't know what's going on here.
We apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. We're experiencing some technical difficulties. Bear with us.
You're listening to 820 AM WWBA.
There we go. We got him.
I have no idea what that was.
All right, we're back.
No idea.
One of the beauties of a remote, you just never know what happens. And of course, we know how Wi-Fi is. And when you're out there and you're, where are we at?
We're in Old Bridge, New Jersey. You know what I think we need to have on our staff? I think we're going to have a Homeland Security because I think every day the Russians try to interrupt us and throw a little curveball at us. So listen, we've been in Florida and having a good time, and Robin Delory's been home in Jersey, and we're thrilled that she set everything up for us. But Robin, this is a big little scrimmage. This is a family little rivalry going. I got the son-in-law, and I'm wearing them proud black and gold. I went to school down here, and you got your Hanover Park colors on.
Yeah.
What are you thinking today? How's
So for you
Philippone?
listeners out there,
Wait, before you refer to what was it? End Zone Philippone?
End Zone Philippone.
Right, the football star from New Jersey, and I mean that seriously, is also a fantastic baseball player. But it's a little cold here. What are you expecting out of him?
Well, first of all, for all you parents out there that are listening, I'd like to give you a little bit of a background here about, and you will feel my pain when I tell you this. I have a teenage son who is absolutely, completely, 100% mortified that we are here.
Well, he goes for an offer. If he goes for an offer today, Jimmy, it's all on us.
100%. But no, I have to tell you that, life goes by so fast. And just yesterday, he was a baby. And today, it's funny how life works, because we're sitting at a scrimmage with my son, who is just turned 18, and your son-in-law, who I used to watch on this field. Yeah. And it really truly is a cyclical thing, and it's beautiful. And then, to add icing to the cake.
Are you gonna cry?
No, but to add icing to the cake, little Mac, little grandson.
Yeah, he's the best.
Came to see you, and I just think it's wonderful. As far as the scrimmage goes, it is what it is. I'm thinking as a mother, and you hit the nail on the head when you said, or you hit the bat to the ball, or the ball to the bat, when you said that he's going to blame me if something goes wrong.
That's all right. But I'm going to tell you, Jimmy, I'm looking at this tall, lanky lefty for Old Bridge, and I think Mike's the leadoff hitter. It looks like he's got some good stuff.
Yeah, we got a little different view than we had during spring training.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
We got the bird's eye view here, and
we're up close.
Yeah, it's
watch your lips.
I tell you what, though, Tommy, being back here in this kind of atmosphere kind of reminds me of why the East Coast and Midwest ball players are the tough ones. Because you know what? We're sitting here and we're just sitting here freezing.
Yeah, it's going to snow any second.
And these guys are out here getting ready to play some baseball. And, I think about when I go to the games in California from my boys that went to high school, and, they'd complain when it was 54 degrees or 55 degrees. And
Right.
Dad, it's cold today. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And by the way, it's
Come play in the
4
Midwest.
o'clock in the afternoon here. It's
Exactly.
not, and it's by 6 tonight, it'll be 15 degrees again.
Yeah.
So, Jimmy, you're going back to California. I'm going back to Tampa because it's a no-brainer. This weather is, I don't know what's going on in New Jersey, but
Michael's up.
yeah. All right, Robin. We'll make sure we pay attention. But
Well, we still got to talk about tonight because
well, how about
Robin's having a party tonight. Robin's got the big party ready for tonight.
She does, and we're all in St. Peter's. Our St. Peter's sweatshirts didn't come in.
No.
I'm hoping that's not a sign, But what are you thinking about Gonzaga? I thought really me and you talked about it yesterday. I really thought they were going to take the run at it and be the favorite, and now they're out. I wonder who the odds-on favor are now. I got to check that in Vegas.
Well, I was talking about last night, the predictions from last night. And even though that I did take Arizona in my pool, I told you the way that Houston was playing, they are hot at the right time.
Yeah.
And Tommy, they blew Arizona. They just didn't beat them. They blew Arizona out.
Just dominated.
And so I would have to think, the favorite right now, just by the eye test, would be Houston. But I think the sentimental favorite is still Duke.
You're listening to Tommy Setner and Jimmy Leyritz and Robin DeLorean. We're live from Overage Remote today on the King and the Cop and WWBA Sports Talk Florida. Call in, by the way, at 727-518-0820. I would love to hear from you. But, Jimmy, so far everybody you picked is lost, so you're putting a whammy on Houston right now.
Well, that's not
Started
true,
with
Tommy.
Kentucky.
That's not
Started with
true.
Kentucky.
See, you got to understand. Okay, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to pull it right up on my phone and show you.
Yeah, you're leading. I saw it.
This is a pool that I've been in since day one, and I have 53 points. The next closest to me is 48. With the remaining games,
I don't know how.
I am in first place. I haven't been very good lately.
No, it's.
But
So, by the way, just a quick update. Mikey saw 5 pitches and fouled all 4 of them and almost took out the opposing team. He's a little late on his swing, but it's early in the season. He's looking good. But, yeah, what game are you looking forward to most? Is it St. Peter's? I mean, it's the Cinderella story, but, they're saying Purdue's so big and strong that I thought I saw 93% of people pick Purdue to win. Mike Philippone just smoked one to right field, but unfortunately right out the right fielder.
yeah,
For
no,
the first out of the game. But
listen, I think the St. Pete game is going to be one of the funnest to watch. St. Peter's game is going to be the funnest to watch just because it's the underdog. But the matchup between UNC and UCLA, UNC is a team that played decent all year, but not their usual North Carolina. And since the tournament has started, Tommy, since they beat Duke for the final game of the season, they have been on fire. And
Right.
I think that's going to be a great matchup. And then, Kansas has dominated all year. And suppose from the very beginning, that's who most of the experts picked to win against Gonzaga in the finals.
wow. Well, we'll see. Like we talk about every day leading up to Friday here, you never know. Everybody's playing on their heels, and if somebody gets off that fast start, it puts the other team, especially if they're the favorite, in a bad position. So, what time is it starting? 7 is the first game?
St. Peter's, Purdue, 7:09.
We're
Providence,
leading it off.
Kansas, 7:29.
Leading it off.
UNC, UCLA, 9:39. And Iowa State, Miami, 9:59. So I'll be up late tonight watching basketball at your house tonight.
I know. I'm going to be right with you. I mean, we didn't get much sleep again last night because you think we're 30. We're at concerts. We're at late baseball games. So it's good to get back to New Jersey. This cold's keeping us awake, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that just flying in a 2.5-hour flight up north or up east.
It's amazing, right?
It's crazy.
We walked
It's
out
a whole
to the-
different world.
Hey, speaking of crazy, How about the Dodgers manager Robertson guaranteeing they're going to win the World Series?
Yeah, he had a Joe Namath moment, I guess.
Joe Namath or what's his name from the Red Sox. These guys are all basically losing their marbles.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I would be curious on how it actually came out of his mouth. Whether he said, "Hey, listen, on paper, we're going to win the World Series." He might have said something like that. You never know. But as far, in all honesty, Tommy, I look at that team. I might agree with him.
Yeah, there's not many holes. But you know this, though. You said it yesterday.
It's all about health.
It's health. If the pitching goes down or somebody goes down, next man up. That old saying, next man up, really doesn't apply to baseball that much because next man up is, you can see it in football and basketball, but baseball, when you have a key pitcher that goes down or somebody in your bullpen goes down, it taxes you. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I don't know if it'd be guaranteeing anything. Ulbrich put Hanover down 1-2-3 in the top of the first here. In case anybody's interested in Tampa, give us a call at 727-518-0820. Jimmy and I will come out to your high school game out in Tampa too. Probably with golf shirts on instead of our ski clothes.
No, but I would like people to start calling in a little bit more and giving us their predictions tonight because I'm tired of being the one. Okay, let's do our predictions. We haven't done that for tonight's games.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to give you the first one. St. Peter's, Purdue.
How could I brag about St. Peter's all week and all of a sudden pick the Boilermakers?
Okay, all right.
By the way, what kind of name is that, Boilermakers?
And I have no ties to New Jersey, so I'm going to Purdue.
No, that's disgusting. You're going to be at my house eating our food, although you're our brother, and you're going to root against St. Peter's?
As I'm looking at my bracket, I really do want St. Peter's to win because
don't you need them?
No, if St. Peter's beats Purdue, then two guys get knocked out. So so the second game is Providence, Kansas.
Providence. I'm going with Providence. Kraft sent the plane. They're rested. Yeah, they're living a life. There's an upset coming.
You're a sentimental guy, Tommy.
Yes, I am.
I'm going to have to go with the Kansas as the favorite. So, okay.
But all the usual suspects have been getting knocked down. But I understand Kansas is a dominant team. Go ahead. Who else we got?
UNC, UCLA.
I went with UCLA on Wednesday. I'm sticking with UCLA today. All
right. I have UCLA in my pool, but I'm going for the upset. I'm taking North Carolina tonight.
How much of an upset is it? What's the spread on that?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Matty, you got to look into that. Yeah. We're going to be going on a break. During the break, Matty, you got to look into that for us. And what's the last one you got?
The number 10 and number 11 seed, Iowa State and Miami.
Who cares?
I want to go with Miami.
I have a hard time for Miami. I'm really not. I'm going with Iowa State.
Yep. All right. Well, good.
Why don't you go for a Midwest team?
This is going to be good. You know why? This is going to be good because we're going to put something on the line eventually. We'll think about it as we go on the air today. But we're going to put something on the line because we picked almost the opposites.
All right. So I just saw snowflakes. We're live in Old Bridge, New Jersey on the Big 8. Yes, we are out of Tampa. Well, we came home to New Jersey for some family business, and we're out here watching a high school baseball game, and everybody's appreciating Jimmy being here.
Yeah, the beauty of it is Robin Deloria got us set up on our remote because we didn't want to miss the game. We wanted to see the kids.
Family, baby, all about family.
All about family.
Call us on the break, and we'll get to you. And
you got the King of the Cop, 820 WWBA, the Big 8. Give us a call.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles.
For a second.
All right, I got it. I will check the lines and we'll come back with that.
The Cleveland Browns held an introductory news conference for Deshaun.
interfering with a criminal investigation.
This is the Big 8.
Sports, news, information, and entertainment.
820 WWBA. The Big 8. Hey, you ever wanted to get into the radio business, but no one is hiring? Well, if you'd like to give it a shot, we have entry-level openings right now. We'll teach you the basics of radio, and if you have what it takes, the sky's the limit. If you like talk radio, whether it's sports or news talk, email us today. Contact@newstalkflorida.com. That's contact@newstalkflorida.com. We have a lot of room for growth in both news talk and sports talk, so email us today. Contact@newstalkflorida.com.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, He is my refuge and my fortress, for He will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease.
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-3156 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-3156, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-3156.
Sports, information, entertainment.
This is the real world.
AM 820, 96.7 FM Tampa, 98.3 FM Pinellas. Tampa Bay's home for Bubba the Love Sponge. Morning 6 to 10. Big 8.
The Big 8.
A portion of the upcoming broadcast is brought to you in part by the law firm of Catania and Catania, award-winning personal injury, auto, and motorcycle accident attorneys, serving Tampa Bay families for over 28 years. Offices Tampa, not attorney spokesman. Here we go.
All right, we're up.
More now with the King and the Cop.
Welcome back. We are from, what is it, Old Bridge?
Old Bridge, New Jersey,
Old Bridge,
Jimmy.
New
Middlesex
Jersey,
County, New
freezing
Jersey,
cold.
Central Jersey.
Watching a little bit of high school baseball. And, Tommy, as you just heard during that break, they played the clip of Deshaun Watson. And, of course, a second grand jury has decided that there was no charges to be pressed. And I kind of wonder, especially someone you and I both have been through the systems before, when is it enough? Anybody can be accused of something. When is it enough that how many times does someone have to prove that the allegations are false before someone says, oh, you know what, maybe it's true. Maybe it didn't happen.
Well, me and you both learned you're guilty until proven innocent. There's no such thing as being innocent until you're proven guilty. That being said, I don't know. I got mixed emotions. I would love to see the facts. You and I don't have the facts. We don't know the facts. But yeah, I agree with you. When is enough enough? When do you just keep piling on?
Well, and when he came out, it's one thing. Most attorneys, if a guy is a little bit guilty or there's something, the attorneys won't let the guy speak. They kind of doesn't say anything.
Yeah, and then people assume that he's guilty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And,
but Jimmy,
Deshaun Watson gave a quote. He said, "I have never disrespected a woman. I was raised by a single mother."
Right.
This is, when is enough? And you know what? The next thing we're going to do is, now he's got to prove this to a civil court.
Right.
It's just ridiculous.
No, it's ridiculous. I mean, put it to bed. But that being said, I would say that I'm sure, and they don't always do this, the NFL team did their due diligence, and what they signed him for, $140 million?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to believe that everything's on the up and up, and hopefully, this goes to bed real soon, and it's just not fair to everybody involved. But I could see where you could be a little jaded, because when athletes and entertainers get in trouble, there are undisclosed payments that are paid out, and then you see charges go away. So you got to keep one eye open with this kind of stuff.
But it's one thing if one grand jury says, okay, maybe you can say, okay, well, they looked at all the facts and just maybe they gave him a break. But a second grand jury has looked at all the facts. And literally they said, this matter is closed.
Yeah, and Jimmy, there's the old saying, you can indict a ham sandwich, which means it's easy to indict somebody.
Right.
So he survived too. So, at this point, let's wish him, he's a superstar. Let's wish him some luck. And, if there's a smoking gun somewhere, produce it. They haven't been able to do it yet.
Well, and it looks like I said, right now with the NFL, there's a lot of trades going on. We've had already so far in trades, we've had 7 first-round picks given up by teams. Right now they're saying that is like an all-time high this early in the free agency of the NFL.
Did you see where they're talking about Baker Mayfield going?
Well, possibly a backup to Tom Brady in Tampa?
No. Oh, I didn't see that.
I
Is
saw
that
that.
true? I
Yeah.
saw Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, my team, Steelers.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about that kid I like.
It's one of those things when he first failed, you thought he was going to be another one.
Right. Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel.
Right.
And when he came back and he really did show that he could play, you hope he gets another opportunity, and we'll see. I thought it was interesting, though, as Tom Brady's backup maybe for 1 year, you go there, you take a little pressure off. But
then you think he's going to be the man?
But the only thing is, Tom, and I can tell you this as somebody who was considered a utility player but wanted to play every day, if you one time decide to go be a backup somewhere, you may play yourself into a backup role the rest of your career.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that B role in acting. You don't really want that.
And did you also see the news that Colin Kaepernick might be getting another opportunity?
I missed that too.
Yeah, it's
kind of tired of that subject too.
You know what? I'm at a point where I'm saying, listen, let the guy give him a chance.
Well, how come nobody has?
Yeah, let's watch him. Let's. If you don't think he can play, let's see it.
I remember him watching the year that he took the 49ers to the Super Bowl, and I thought, man, this guy is going to be the coming of everything. I mean, he could throw, he could run, he was tough, but I don't know. Boy, that's just another political topic there, if you will. And unfortunately, I think he thought he was going to be the next, maybe Muhammad Ali taking a stance. And I'm not saying he was wrong, but it really divided everybody's. Wouldn't you say it divided everybody in the league? It divided everybody in the front offices. Some good things came out of it, but then it divided the country. But then he got, people were vicious over it. One of the names they would bring up and compare, and I don't know if it was fair. Like, how do you root for him? Pat Tillman went over and served his country and lost his life and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I want to believe the NFL and owners and maybe even some of the players are exhausted by the whole darn thing.
Yeah, we'll see. So, like I said, free agency just starting, and it's going to be an interesting, I think, off season this year in the NFL. So we'll see.
Yeah, the NFL is staying in the news during the beginning of baseball season and March Madness. The NFL's taking a lead story every day for the most part for the last couple of weeks. Oh, I don't know. You think it's going to get Robbins wrapped up in 3 different blankets right now? I think Adam, we're going to have you start playing music for the last hour. This is. I got frostbite right now.
If I see snow, I am going out.
And talk about loyalty to the son here and the son-in-law, no less. By the way, my son-in-law, I think, I don't know if I told you this, Jimmy, and our Tampa listeners, it's about family today. We're doing a little family thing, so forgive us for being in cold New Jersey, but 727-518-0820. Sports Talk Florida.
I can tell you this might be a one-time.
Oh, it's a one-time. It's a one-timer. But my son-in-law, who's the varsity head baseball coach here, and like I mentioned, coach of the year, was also made history 3 weeks ago and was named the varsity head football coach. And this is a big, prominent high school. So we're really proud. So I could suck it up in the cold for a day, come and support him, and we could support my Robin's son, who I love to death. But it's cold, James Lair. It's cold.
Yes, being a California guy now and a little bit of a Florida treatment over the last 5 days, it's cold.
You know what's cold though, Jimmy? You got the parents like you gotta look left and look right and see your mother and father. I see my mother and father. They gutted it out. These parents gutted out, and no matter what the weather is, they're here supporting their sons and daughters. And it's just, we got a little family day here, so that's fun. But I got to tell you something. Eli Manning, you called him out yesterday and said you wanted to see Eli Manning in a St. Peter shirt. I showed you Eli Manning tweeting out. He's in the St. Peter shirt today.
Yes, I did see that, Tommy. Yeah. I did see that.
A little rub off a little. He knows how to beat the Powerful.
You know, it's that time of year. It's that time of year. You know, it's I was wearing my TCU hat the other day. You know, today on the plane.
Yep.
Yeah, we're wearing it proud with my daughter being there. And,
it's hard to think of it baseball right now. We went from thinking nonstop baseball to maybe should we talk luge or bobsledding? Maybe we talk bobsledding today. So
we got extreme skiing coming
what's
up.
the coldest Yankee opener? I remember it snowed one year and Pettit was pitching, I think.
1996 opening day. And he put it on the mound. I was DHing and I was on third base in about the 8th inning, and I could not see Mariano Duncan hitting because it was snowing so hard.
I know. I mean, I remember that, watching that opening day. I mean, as a fan, I love baseball, but if it's snowing, I'm not going to a baseball game.
Yes.
We just lost our notes and our pad.
And then in 1994, we were supposed to open up in Cleveland, and we got snowed out, and they were showing pictures of Paul O'Neill hitting snowballs with his bat. On, so
our listeners might hear a big siren in the back, and that's not a police car or fire engine. That's
a snow warning.
It's a snow warning. Basically, they're telling you it's dropping below 25 right now. It's unbelievable. I had to send my grandchildren home. I can't believe it, Rob. They're gone because of the weather.
All right. Now you're listening to The King and the Cop on 820 AM WWBA, the Big 8. Hey, listen, you know the number, 727-518-0820.
I got a good subject.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Coming up on our second half at 5:30, we will have Jeffrey Lyons, the movie critic, and we will be covering the top sports movies that are of all time. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Give us a call. Give us your top movies. Now, I'm going to throw out a bunch right now to give you a few that if you forget about them, because today when I made my list, Mr. Setner here reminded me that I forgot a couple really good movies. So let me just throw out a bunch. Field of Dreams, Remember the Titans, Blindside, Natural, Sandlot, Tin Cup, Hoosiers. We got Rocky. We got Rudy. We got Bull Durham. If you like horses, we got Seabiscuit and Secretariat. And of course, if you're an agent, you got to like Jerry Maguire. So there's a few there.
Let me ask you a question now. Did you say Rudy again? You put Rudy in there?
I always put Rudy in there because, as we discussed with Miss Robin yesterday, it's inspiring, Tommy.
Inspiring for what? Like here is Rudy again, fighting to get into the top 10 of the movies. He's not even good enough for that. Rudy, I'm
always going to have it on a list.
By the way, I'm all Irish. I mean, I love Notre Dame, but we got to stop with the Rudy story. We got to do better than that. Can we make a story about Joe Montana or somebody? Or I don't know. There's different. Joe Montana won 4 Super Bowls with in the NFL. He went to Notre Dame, and we talk about Rudy more than Joe Montana.
I really want to look deeper into this, though, babe. Why does Rudy bother you so much? It's like you have like venom against this movie, and I'm not really. It's like
when people go, "Oh, he's like Rudy." What does that mean? He didn't make the team. He's like Rudy. What does that mean? He didn't make the team.
I think it's a compliment.
He wasn't even smart enough to get into Notre Dame.
But, okay, you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, the guy took a beating to show that he wanted to be part of the team. And even though he wasn't on it, the fact that eventually they recognized him because the kid didn't quit, which is what that you and I love, that the guy that doesn't quit. Right? He didn't quit. He kept going, and he made his father proud.
Wow.
Can I state the obvious?
Don't start.
Yes.
He's got a movie written about him. So I think the last laugh is on us.
What's he do now?
Does it matter? He's
still
collecting royalties.
He signs a lot of autographs.
He ain't collecting royalties.
I'm sure he is.
He's not collecting royalties.
You don't know.
No one hit. Somebody else was starting.
To be honest with you,
yeah,
Tommy, 2.5 years ago, I was up at Steiner Sports Marketing,
right,
signing the 1996 home run picture and telling the story of the story pictures that we did.
Right.
And I walk in there to go sign, and there is over 1,000 gold helmets sitting in Steiner Sports.
Yeah, still there.
And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? He said, Rudy's coming in to sign today.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
See?
I think
right.
he's an inspiration to a lot of
We
people.
all need hope. That's what it's all about.
No.
Hope.
Maybe
And you know what? If you really look at all these movies,
Gandhi,
all these movies are about that. All of them.
Yeah.
Well, remember, I did mention Tin Cup, so let's get back to a little bit about the Masters coming up. So we got the Masters coming up.
Next hour, I want to talk how the Masters. Phil Mickelson, don't come.
Yeah.
We don't want you here. Three-time Masters champion Phil Mickelson, and come on. Can we all get along?
Yeah,
Let's figure it out.
I think that's going to be a very interesting story that continues. And of course, coming up soon is a tournament that he was in that he actually won, and whether or not they will be inviting him to that tournament also. So that will all come up soon.
I don't know, Matt, we going to break or what's the deal?
Vader, we're going to break right now.
Follow your bracket here. Foul shots, three-pointers, and buzzer beaters are heard here. NCAA college basketball. FM Canales, AM 820, the Big 8.
Is a devastating process for families. It can be an emotional roller coaster ride. There is a law firm in Tampa Bay that practices with this in mind. That law firm is Catania and Catania. We know and handle personal injury law for families. Of the process worry-free from start to finish. Many victims don't even realize they can claim compensation for their loss until they talk to us. Catania and Catania only represent private individuals. We treat every case as if it's going to trial. Putting families first is more than just a slogan. It's our way of practicing law. It's our commitment to you. Remember, we don't get paid if you don't get paid. So go to CataniaCatania.com, award-winning, over 28 years, and family first. Catania Catania, personal injury, auto accident, and motorcycle accident attorneys.
What are you so happy about?
I'm on the pill.
Aren't you two a bit old to worry about having more kids?
Not her, me.
You lost me there, buddy.
Steelman pills. Things weren't always looking up if you catch my drift. So the doctor prescribed me a little something.
Like Viagra?
Yeah, but that's expensive, and it wasn't covered by my insurance. Steelman pills cost me less than $3 a pill, and virtually the same effect. I just called and got over 40 pills for only $99.
I have this friend who might be looking and...
Well, if your friend wants some help, the consultation is free over the phone. No clinic.
Steelman Pills, going the extra mile to help men with erectile dysfunction.
800-748-6805. 800-748-6805.
We heard him out of program. I'm off the air.
Medicare has approved new benefits not included with original Medicare and older Medicare Advantage plans. You may not be getting all of the benefits you're entitled to, including in-home aids, telephone appointments with your doctors, home-delivered meals and prescriptions. These benefits may be available, and it's a free call to enroll. The new plans may also offer free eyeglasses, free hearing aids, free wellness visits, and gym memberships. Call the Medicare benefits line now. It's easy. Call 800-437-7740. 800-437-7740. Find out if you're eligible for new benefits like meal and prescription delivery, in-home aids, and telemedicine. Some plans may have a $0 monthly premium or zero copays for big out-of-pocket savings. Not all Medicare Advantage plans are alike. The new plans have more benefits for many people. Call 800-437-7740. 800-437-7740. 800-437-7740.
The King and the Cop continues. Let's get back to the show. It's Tommy, Jimmy, and Robin.
What are they talking about?
Welcome back to the King and the Cop. We're live today, remote from Old Bridge, New Jersey, watching a high school game because our Robin's son and my son-in-law are against each other. That being said, I was just thinking of something, listening to our lead-in music. You think the Lords of 52nd Street will let us use some of their music?
That's it. We can check it out.
Let's check it.
Yeah,
Joel, he's a big Yankee fan.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
was actually going to
I
ask
think
you
that's-
that because I wanted to talk to you about how they are playing Billy Joel music.
well.
Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to.
Yeah.
I was wondering.
you should tell us how that works. How does that work?
I don't know how it works because I would think that anytime I've been on television, it have to read a public domain or an original that I wrote.
Right. Well,
So I don't know how it works.
on June 10th, there, Missy Margaret, we're going to go see them. They're going to be in Morristown.
I can't wait. That'll be fun.
We're going to fly Jimmy and Michelle in. We'll go
Oh, that'd be
together.
awesome.
But you know, I was just here's a word my mom used to use: smitten by their performance last night.
Listen, I went home last night, called Michelle, and said, I just felt like I was at a Billy Joel concert.
Yeah.
And she's
Let
like,
me ask you, did he really stand up and dance and sing? Because he was telling me, and I do not
Let me
believe
tell
it.
you
but I'm
something. There
gonna ask
wasn't
Jimmy tomorrow.
anybody sitting in their seat during Piano Man at the end when they came back out for an encore.
I
Not
don't
one
know how
person.
much I would say he was dancing.
I was moving
But
left to right.
he was moving to, and we were clapping.
I was moving. We were clapping.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I'm telling you.
But
I felt cheated. Like I never got to see you do anything like
I
that.
don't know why I
it
did it
wasn't quite
myself.
that kind of dancing.
Yeah,
No,
I
it
was punch drunk by the time we got there, but I got into it quick.
Anytime
Quick,
we've
right out
ever
of the
seen
right,
anything, you
Yeah.
fell asleep.
Yeah.
Like any
No.
Broadway show we've been to, you've
Well, that's
fallen
how
asleep.
inspiring this was.
I'm telling you,
It was.
Rob.
It was-
When you go, I would actually wanted to take you down to Jackson this weekend, in Jacksonville, Florida tonight, I think. But anyway, here's my problem. I read this and it disturbs me, and it goes to you are worthy. What we talked about yesterday, second chances. The Masters, they're reporting, and I don't know that it's true, that the Masters are saying, Phil, we don't want you here this year. 3-time Masters champion, and I thought they weren't part of the PGA.
Well, and that's a good point. That is a really good point, and it's interesting for it to come out today that they actually suggested to him not to come. It would be one thing for Phil saying, "Hey, listen, you know what? I'm going to step aside because I think it would be too much." But for them to kind of ask him to do it, yeah, you know what? It's a slap in the face.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, come on, I don't know. There's got to, as they say in Jersey here, we got to have a sit down.
Yeah.
We got to have a sit down.
Yeah, I
Phil.
think
Enough's enough.
I think.
And then I saw Greg Norman start inviting people back, so we'll see what other dominoes fall as a result of that.
Well, listen, Tommy, there's something I do have.
What?
And I find it very interesting. You know, the other day when you and I were on the radio and we were going to take our Masters pick, and
you got another pick now?
Out of the blue, I just threw out Justin Thomas.
Right.
And you said, "Wait a minute, that's my pick."
That's right.
I already have
But
that written
legit,
down.
you saw it was written down. You saw
I
it was
did
written
not
down.
see it written down.
It was written down. I got the
saw it
paper.
after I said it.
Yeah.
All right. And then I decided to change my pick twice.
Yeah.
And the second pick I picked was Colin Morikawa.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. The odds of the Masters, the favorite
Oh yeah, I want to hear this.
is John Rahm at 8-1.
That's a pretty good bet.
The second two favorites, can you take a guess who they are?
Yours. You're a front runner.
Can you favorites? Can you take a guess who they are?
Yeah, both of our guys.
Both of our guys are at 12-1.
Wow.
12-1. Rory McIlroy is at 14-1. Dustin Johnson, who was my original pick, 16-1. And Cameron Smith, who just won the Players, is at 16-1 also. So those are the top five guys.
Where's Jordan Spieth? Not even mentioned?
Not even mentioned.
Wow.
So it's a big fall from grace there. But again, that could be one of these things, just like the final 64. It could be a surprise.
Yeah. Well, I really believe it's going to be Justin Thomas's year.
And I got good news for myself.
What do you got? Yeah, another pool you're in?
I'm actually going to be going to the Masters.
You told us yesterday. How many times are you going to tell Robert about it? You're taking another day off. How many times are you going to rub it in?
Yes, I cannot wait.
I'm thinking about calling John Anthony. I'm going.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Hey, John Anthony, I'm good enough to go to Yankee, Met game, all those other things. I'm not allowed to go to the Masters? Hello, friends. Jim Nance.
We will set you up.
Yeah. Now, I don't think I'm healthy enough. I had a couple back surgeries. It's a lot of walking, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. I remember one year because we usually sell this as an auction item at a charity, and it raises a lot of money for the charity. We give the charity, pretty much about 80% of what it costs.
That's cool.
And I took these two guys one year they were from California. They've got a charity called Boys Town out of California.
We got a Boys Town here in New Jersey, Kearney, New Jersey, where JC's from.
Yep. And I took these two guys, and they were probably in their late 60s, early 70s, and they were like, "Listen, we can't really walk the entire course." And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, you know what? I got a perfect spot for you." I put them in Amen Corner for half the day.
Wow.
And then I put in my number 16, 17, and 18 that you can see all together. And they
didn't think of your friend here to take him to Amen's Corner. You didn't think of me to take me with you to Amen's Corner.
I have to be told. If I'm told, I'll get it for you.
Yeah, Ralph Cramden over here. Listen, if our Tampa fans and Florida fans are confused, we're in remote today. Olbridge, New Jersey, came home for a little family reunion. Robin's son is playing against my son-in-law, who's the head coach of Olbridge High School, Hanover. Michael, one of the top running backs in the state of New Jersey, is also a great baseball player. But we're freezing our ass off. It's 30 degrees here. And Robin, I hope you can appreciate us. Jimmy coming down as a understanding family. Jimmy came down to do the show with us, right?
Yeah. So here's the deal, babe. I know that you've been traveling, and I know that it's really hard to go from that nice weather to this weather. But I actually felt bad for you because a few weeks ago when we found out the scrimmage was happening, my son and your son, basically, your son-in-law, but you've known him forever and you consider him a son. When you guys moved to AM 820, you had a great spot, 4 to 6. So, that's wonderful, but it
screwed up our baseball.
It really did. So I felt like, let me set you up here so
really
you can.
Nice of you.
I just want you to know that
Jimmy just put mittens on.
Okay, well, I just want to let you know that I was coming either way, So
we're happy to be here with you.
Okay, thank you.
You're driving home.
I drove here. I drive all the time. What are you talking about?
We got to take nappy naps.
It's a little change of
You
pace.
drive all the time.
You know what? It gives you the cold air is giving me a little energy.
Now I can't drive at night.
Jimmy, it's not giving you energy. It's called frostbite. You can't fall asleep.
I'm tired. You drive.
I got to move around a lot, so
So, anyway, I like what I see out of this lefty we have in Olbridge, and my son-in-law is one hell of a coach. He's got a young team this year, but Matt motivates. He's built such a great program here. I'm very proud of him. I grew up in this town after we left Newark in the riots, and we settled down in Olbridge, New Jersey. And yes, I do know my son-in-law since he's 4 years old. His dad and I played ball together, so I know him a long time. And my daughter and Matt were high school sweethearts, and they got married, and they got 2 beautiful children. But even the cold had to push them away today. Brutal.
This is a really beautiful field, too. It really is.
It's good. Yeah, not where we live. Anyway, so
hey, Jimmy, you know what I wanted to ask you? What are you craving from Jersey? Because I'm trying to figure out what we're going to eat tonight.
Soup.
No, really.
We're gonna have soup.
Hot.
No, really. Like, what are you craving when you come to Jersey?
Yeah.
I
know you like maybe the Star Tavern, but they don't deliver.
Yeah.
Or the Belmont, they don't deliver.
I don't know. I mean, whatever you just surprise me.
Okay, Jimmy, I love you, but now I don't care. My son's out.
As long as there's no onions, and no olives, and I'm good.
Yeah,
like
Robin don't like onions. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a little. Jim, let's do a little play-by-play. Have a little fun. I know this is New Jersey, but we got Mike Philippone.
Mike, if he hears you talking about him, he's gonna be so mad.
Yeah, he'll throw the bat at me. But anyway, one of the top running backs in New Jersey, still undecided where he's going to college. First pitch inside.
That's cool. Do that.
Yeah, I am gonna do it. So he's looking down his coach down at third base, looking for a sign. The sign is it's friggin' cold. That's the sign. The pitch.
I'm trying to remember the name of the movie with Billy Crystal, and it was
the
grandparents. Yeah, what was the name of that movie? Anybody remember that movie? Adam remembers? Matt, do you remember that movie? Billy Crystal.
Is it a sports
He's
movie?
a sports announcer.
The lefty goes to the line.
It's like that. It's
the pitch. High and tight up by
I can't remember the name of it.
Tommy, you're good at this.
I'm imitating John Sterling.
I'm gonna have to Google this real quick. While you're doing your play-by-play, I'll Google Billy Crystal.
John Sterling, the great New York Yankee radio announcer. I think he's 85 this year. The lefty back. Trying to pick. Got a nice move, Jimmy. Almost got like a little bit of an Andy Pettit move over the first.
And Jimmy, I think I found your movie. It's Parental Guidance.
Parental Guidance.
Parental Guidance.
Parental
That's
Guidance.
it. Good.
What's the count, Tommy?
Good job, Matt.
We've got a 1-1 count on Philippone.
Yeah, it was where.
Pitch.
Did you ever see that?
Outside 2-1.
Did you ever see that movie?
Never saw it.
So they're him and Bette Midler are the grandparents.
Great.
And he was a real big. He wanted to become a Giants announcer. Never really got the opportunity. Did a lot of minor league stuff.
Right.
Got fired from his job, and then
comes to the set. The pitch. 3-1 on Philippone and stolen base.
Long story short, they go to babysit. They didn't see the grandkids too much because he was always working. And then finally, they go to see the kids, and they're babysitting them. And one of the grandkids has a stuttering problem.
Right.
And Billy Crystal gives him the Bobby Thompson home run call.
Oh, no. The shot heard around the world.
And the kid starts listening to it. And he listens to it and listens to it. And he, all of a sudden, they're at a talent contest. And he gets up in front of this talent contest. And he starts doing this Bobby Thompson home run call. And he doesn't stutter once. Not once.
You would totally cry.
It was unbelievable.
I have the chills.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
Tommy, he couldn't.
I gotta watch
he was so self-conscious, and he had such a loving relationship with his grandpa.
Stand by with your thoughts.
What do you mean?
Philippone just got one right down the middle, 3-1 pitch, and he.
Wait. Robin learned this the other day.
3-1 pitch.
Your son
just got a 3-1 pitch. He got a cookie down the middle.
What did you learn? What did you learn?
He's on first base.
I know, but
A ground out to shortstop.
That's exactly right. Good job.
That's not what he did.
6'3". Yeah, he did. I'm afraid.
But he's so fast that he got to first base.
You know, he's one of the fastest. All kidding aside, one of the fastest running backs in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But it was a bad throw. It got pulled off the base. So you're not getting that. We're not going to base it out of this.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's all right. But
Well, anyway, Tommy, let me just say this.
I'm already bored with that movie.
All right, whatever.
I'm bored. I thought we were doing Jeffrey Lyons. Now we're
gonna get Jeffrey's gonna come on.
Was my play-by-play that bad?
That was not a sports movie, so just don't think about it that way. It was not a sports movie.
Well, you said Shot Around the World, Bobby Thompson.
But it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
I got chills. That was a great scene.
Yes. So
Jimmy,
remember, once again, it's The
about
King
that.
and the Cop.
Yep.
On 820 WWBA. Coming up in the second half, we have Jeffrey Lyons coming on at 5:30 in honor of our Oscars coming up on Sunday. We are picking the top 10 best sports movies of all time. 727-518-0820. Give us a call. Give us your bid. Matt, you take the calls and you tell us what people are saying out there.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you two even care about the Oscars anymore? Remember it used to be a big thing. People used to throw parties for Oscars instead of St. Peter's games. I don't even, was it COVID? Because that was a turnoff because you don't even get to see the stars. There was no red carpet for the last year or two. I don't even know what the hell's up for an Oscar right now.
I'm over it because I just don't feel like it is a platform to get so unbelievably political.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I totally admire
Can't
their
even
talent.
watch it, right, Rob? We shut it off.
I can't watch it.
I
I just think it's ridiculous. It's just out of control now. And now it's almost as if when you write a speech, an acceptance speech, you almost have to make it political.
You know, and the thing is, we get so much politics. We used to go to sports and kind of what we're talking about Kaepernick before. You used to go to sports and the Oscars and the Tonys and the Grammys for relief away from that crap. And now we got to listen to it come out of their mouth when
But
they win.
not only that, even when I say it's political, it's only political on one side. So there's no winner that's going to go up there and say, "I love Trump." Nobody's going to say that.
You're out of business.
You will not work again.
Exactly. Well, the other thing too, I'm going to tell you is going to the movie theater is not big anymore.
No, why?
There was a point. I remember when when Michelle and I first got together, from 2011 to about 2017. We watched. There used to be a thing that we used to want to go watch every nominated movie for the Oscars because we couldn't wait to sit and watch them and see which one of the movies, and we figured which one we liked the best. I can tell you, since 2017, I don't think we've watched 3 of them.
I'm sorry to do this. I got breaking news.
What?
The sun's out. It's 38 degrees now. The sun just popped out. Now it's 38 degrees.
I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. What show is that from?
So anyway,
Rob, you got to get up. You got to get back out there on stage after last night.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to go. Jimmy and I are going to be your managers.
Jimmy and I can't wait for you to go.
Sports and entertainment. So listen,
anyways,
we're on a Big 8 here, and we're in New Jersey. I keep saying that. Tampa, bear with us today. We're doing a little family reunion out here, and we're missing Tampa. And I'm sure it's about, I guess when we left this morning, it was about 78 degrees, right, Jimmy?
78 degrees. Although, yesterday was a little rainy, but I can take rain at 75 degrees. I can't take cold and possible snow here in the East Coast.
We're going to break in 1 minute. Sully, when we come back, Sully, what's your favorite? What's your front runner for the movies?
For me, Major League and Slapshot.
Slapshot. That's what I didn't mention.
League of Our Own.
All right.
And Robin throws in League of Our Own for the ladies.
League of, I love League. I
like it.
Listen, you're listening to WWBA Sports Talk Florida. We're in Old Bridge, New Jersey live today. Tampa, we'll be back Monday. But we're going to go to break, and we'll talk to you. Some more movies, some more sports when we come back. Jimmy Leyritz, Tommy Senton, and Robin Delory live from Old Bridge, New Jersey today.
All I can think of.
Tell the truth, and for me, that's to continue to push forward and show people that who I really am.
All right, we're out.
I want to continue to open that up and be able to have people come to me and be able to talk to me about certain things.
After that, Browns owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam held their own news conference via Zoom. Here was Dee Haslam.
We knew going in.
This is AM 820 WWBA Largo and AM 1060 WIXZ Titusville.
Do you despise lawyers? That may be the case until you need one. If you've been in an auto accident and need legal advice, go to the local attorneys that have served Tampa Bay families for over 28 years. Catania and Catania. They are family owned. They understand your needs with legal advice. When you need legal representation, Catania will care for your case from the beginning to final settlement. You won't need to worry. Catania will represent you throughout the entire process. Auto and motorcycle accidents are too frequent in Florida. If you've been a victim, contact Catania. They don't get paid if you don't get paid. Referrals on request. Contact Catania, putting families first.
Offices Tampa, non-attorney spokesperson.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family.
I'll make sure we go to break.
Longer talk, call LifeCare at 1-800-773-0131. 1-800-773-0131. 1-800-773-0131.
Angie's List is now Angie. Whether you need help with routine maintenance or you're planning your dream renovation, Angie connects you with top local pros who can get the job done right. See reviews, compare quotes, and book hundreds of projects. Plus, when you book and pay through Angie, we'll cover your project up to the full purchase price, plus limited damage protection with our Happiness Guarantee. Check out Angie.com, and for more on the Happiness Guarantee, go to Angie.com/happiness-guarantee.htm.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on. This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Now, back to the show. The King of the Cop continues.
Welcome back to the King of the Cop. Jimmy Leyritz, Tommy Settler, Robin Delory, live, remote, Old Bridge, New Jersey today. I don't know why we ever left Tampa. I was just thinking of something, Jimmy. We got our caffeine and water. I'm afraid to drink anything cold right now. I might not make the end of the show. So can we warm up some caffeine and put it in a coffee cup? Caffeine and water. Keep us going here, get us nice and warm. You know, Jimmy, I was thinking of something on the break, and I didn't even share it with you. When it's cold like this, it's true the ball doesn't travel as far, correct?
Yes.
So when you're a player and you're going through a free agency, does this come across your mind as far as the months of April and even part of May sometimes on the East Coast are brutal?
Well, and believe it or not, it works the other way too. You know, if you don't like the heat, you don't want to go to Texas during the summer.
No, that's true.
But now
I hear
Texas
a lot of guys get worn out, right?
Actually, Texas has an indoor stadium now, so that's different now.
Yeah.
But in the day, Kansas City, which still has the outdoor stadium, let's see, it was Kansas City, it was Texas. Those teams out there, you did not want to play there during the summertime because it was brutal. It was, especially before Kansas City went to grass when they were AstroTurf. I remember guys coming off the field, sticking their feet in ice buckets, their feet.
Wow.
Because they were burning their feet on the turf. It was crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, so it works both ways.
Another question, Seattle Mariners, is it true that they are basically the furthest team away and eventually that wears the team down and all the travel?
Yes, there is a disadvantage of either being the far East Coast team or the far West Coast team because you do travel quite a bit more. Right now, though, I would say with the scheduling, the way they do it, they always try to give you a day off when you're traveling from one coast to another, whether you're the East Coast or the West Coast team. So I think they do a lot better job of it, and you don't really feel the time zone difference because you're not there that long.
Can of corn to Philippone. He just ran one down. But let me ask you this question. I have another question for you. When you're sitting there and you're a free agent, does the wife, significant other, mother, father weigh in? What about that? Or do you it's you and your agent drilling down and what's the best space for you to play?
Well, I don't think until you get to the point where you're a top free agent. Right. That you really, because you don't have control over it till then. I told you before, 19, what was it? When I was with the Angels, I got signed with the Angels. I got my first 3-year deal in the big leagues for like $5.9 million or something. And, we thought we were set for 3 years. We were going to be in California. We were going to build a base there. Yep. We were having our kids and everything else. And we went and bought a house in Anaheim Hills. And, we thought this was going to be it. And then I'm sitting there and not literally, probably toward the end of July, we're playing in Cleveland and I'm getting ready to go to the field and all of a sudden my phone rings and it's Tim Mead and says, "Hey Jimmy, by the way, you just got traded to the Texas Rangers." So I was like, wait a minute, I just got my first opportunity to catch every single day.
Right.
And I'm putting up numbers next to Pudge. And now I'm going to have to back up Pudge. And he says, no, they're trading Pudge. I go, what do you mean?
Oh, he went to the Marlins?
No. They said Pudge is unwilling to sign his free agent contract that they offered him. And so they're going to trade him to the New York Yankees for Jorge Posada.
Oh,
and you are going to be you're going to be the starting catcher.
No way.
And you're going to bring Posada along. And I said, oh, okay, that's not so bad then. I'll go to Texas. Because I was a Cowboy. I had cowboy boots.
Right.
I'll fit right in. And Pudge was leaving. So literally, I'm on a plane on my way to Texas. I get off the plane to Texas. I jump in the car with the clubhouse guy. And as we're driving to the field, he said, oh, by the way, did you hear the good news? I said, what's that? He said, Pudge resigned. I was like, what? You got to be shitting me. And I said, no way. I go, that can't be. That can't possibly be. He goes, no, Pudge just resigned a 5-year deal for $45 million. He ain't leaving. And I was like, okay. So now the second part of that deal, Posada to Texas for Pudge, doesn't go through. I'm stuck in Texas with no starting job.
In July.
And it was horrible. And it was one of those things that it was things you don't get over.
Yeah.
So there are times like that. But when I had an opportunity to decide where I wanted to play was in 99 going into 2000, and I wanted to stay with the Yankees, and that's when I signed with the Yankees. So I think if you have an opportunity to pick, yes, then you get your family involved, then you get your wife involved, you get your mother and father involved. I think that's a little bit more, but most of the time during your big league career, you don't have that opportunity.
And because fans want to know here on the Big 8 WWBA Sports Talk Florida, what were the living conditions? Did you stay in a 5-star hotel? Providence, Kraft gave Providence their own private jet today. What kind of, how was the travel as a Yankee?
When we first got called up in 1990, we were doing a charter with Continental.
Right. I remember Continental.
I believe in 1993, maybe 92, 93, that's when Mr. Steinbrenner signed the deal with the Nets. It was NetJets.
Yeah.
And we were able to fly on the New Jersey, the Nets, the football, that basketball team, the Nets plane.
He owned a piece of that.
Yeah, he owned a piece of that. So we were flying on a private plane for about 3 or 4 years. And I think now they're back doing charters with one of the airlines.
When they do the charters, everybody in a first class seat?
No. The charters are basically the same plane that you and I flew up today.
Yeah.
And the coaches and everybody get the first class seats. And then the way we had it structured was the first 5 rows were what they called the God Squad, were the guys that wanted to kind of be quiet and read the Bibles and do things.
Right.
The second 7 or 10 seats were card players, and the back of the plane were the beer drinkers.
Interesting.
Yeah. So where did I float, Tommy, you ask?
No, I think you started off in the back and you ended up in the front.
Between the card players and the back.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You can go either way. Just for s and giggles, as they say. By the way, you can't say that word. And who's best dressed? Who you remember being best dressed on your team? Football players really got the swag. They really dress.
Jesse Barfield.
There
was nobody that was more stylish than Jesse Barfield. He took pride.
Did you have a dress like Steinbrenner was so strict? He's strict with the beards and things.
It was suit pants and the tie. On every trip.
On the road.
On every trip. Yeah. Well, no, not on the road. Not once you landed.
No, not once you landed. But when you took off, you had to be in a suit.
And we used to joke because we're like, in those days before 9/11, we used to just literally land on the runway and jump on the buses right on the runway. Right. So nobody ever saw us. So we're like, why in the heck do we have to have a suit and a tie on?
I love it.
Because
I think it's class.
But that was the way it was. Yeah, that was the rule.
It's class. And now some of these sneakers and sweatpants are worth more than the suit that you probably wore back in the day.
That's it. Exactly. Exactly.
So we're listening to you're listening to the Big 8 Radio, WWBA Sports Talk Florida, 727-518-0820. If you're just tuning in, you're with Jimmy Leyritz, Tommy Setner, the cop, and Robin DeLory. And Robin asked us to come out and do a remote show and surprised me because my son-in-law is the head coach of the baseball team and her son's playing against him today. Right now, I think my son-in-law is winning 1-0. It's so darn cold here. I don't think these kids can even swing the bat, but it's good baseball. Robin, how you feeling about your son's performance so far?
My son, both of them actually, they're the best ever in the whole entire universe.
Yeah, mute or mic. Mute it right now. What do you mean the best ever?
I'm just kidding. Well, what am I going to say? I mean, first of all, I've never played the game. Second of all, I love watching him play. I know he's fast. I feel like he might be in a little bit of a rut, but I feel like when he, what do you call it when you come out of the rut?
Out of a slump, Rob. It's called a slump.
Okay. I think it's going to be exciting.
No, nobody's in a rut or in a slump right now. Everybody's freezing their butts off, and Jimmy could be the first one to tell you it's hard to even get psyched up to even swing the bat or throw a ball. And you don't want to throw too much today because you could get hurt.
And you got to remember, this is a more of a scrimmage than it is a real game.
Right.
So these guys are just trying to get their work in, trying to get in shape. And usually, again, when you start baseball in the East Coast, the first 3 or 4 weeks of playing, you're just trying to get through the weather and be able to feel your hands, be able to get your timing down. And I would say that, I'd give Michael at least another 3 or 4 weeks before we get going.
Yeah, the thing is, Michael takes everything so personal.
Of course,
he wants to beat my son-in-law so bad right now. He won't even. And by the way, I will never let him move it down. I don't care if it's a scrimmage or not, because he put this challenge out here. But it's we're in a beautiful Old Bridge, New Jersey, and it's up to about 41 degrees right now.
You know what I love about doing the show in Tampa? I feel like every time I feel like every time we're in Tampa and we're in Florida, it just feels like you're at home, because I feel like a lot of New Jersey people, smarten up and move down there when they retire, or even before that. Now everybody's moving out.
I can't tell you how true of a statement that is. Last night we were at the concert, and Richie, sax player, says, "Who's from New Jersey?" And about 70% of the crowd stood up and cheered. And he said, "Who's from New York?" It was the rest of the people.
Right.
Nobody was from Florida.
He made fun of my California. I didn't like that.
Yeah, he did. He was beating up on California.
Where have you lived the longest? Ohio. You're from Ohio, right?
Cincinnati for the first 23 years, but then I was in Fort Lauderdale for 24 years. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were in Florida that long.
You didn't realize I was that old, did you?
Well, that too.
They told a great story about Liberty last night, that they were in Philadelphia and they got about 50,000 people, I guess it was, at where the Eagles play or the Phillies play. And they went out the night before, and the drummer got sick. And so Billy Joel's breaking his chops because it's taking everything. He had a little food poisoning. And he said, "That's because you were eating Philly cheesesteaks." And the Philly people booed him like crazy. Wow. Like, how dare you pick on the cheesesteaks? Yeah. But he said it was shrimp. It was, he had to cover his ass real quick. It was shrimp. But,
well, Jimmy, when you left Ohio, you went to Fort Lauderdale, and then did you miss the change of seasons?
In all honesty, no. I was playing baseball, so I wanted to be where I could work out all year round. And it was an opportunity because the first team I played for was the Fort Lauderdale Yankees. And I called up my mom after the first season down there, and I said, "Hey, Mom, I don't think I'm coming home." And she's like, "Why?" I said, "Well, besides the weather, there's girls in bikinis in bars." And you know what? I think I might find my wife down here eventually.
Right.
And I did.
How'd that work out for you?
Yeah.
All right, then. No further questions.
No.
Stop it.
Yeah, he's got 3 beautiful children.
Beautiful, beautiful wife. And by the way, I must say,
his current wife is beautiful.
Yes.
He was saying at the time when he was a kid.
Okay.
I'm joking, Robin.
But I do want to say, speaking of your beautiful wife,
lighten
happy
up
anniversary.
What?
Happy anniversary.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Even bigger part of my sacrifice for the Setner family is that I did not go to my anniversary dinner tonight. I celebrated it a week before because I knew I had this trip to Tampa, and I have an appearance tomorrow up in Brewster, New York, for a charity, for a poker tournament that I had to be up here. And I said, "You know what? I'll go up." And my wife was willing because she's getting ready, Robin, to go to Paris with my daughter Isabella, who is 16, and she leaves for Paris in about 4 or 5 days. So we decided that we would celebrate our anniversary at the end of April, as far as the trip that we take every year to a national park. So that'll be when I get home.
So you're with the Setners tonight.
Yeah, and you're going to eat Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
That's what we thank you.
We got in the car this morning to go to the airport, and on Facebook it popped up a picture of me and Michelle and Jimmy from his wedding. And I looked at him. I said, "Is it your wedding anniversary here?" Like, and he goes, "Yeah, but I committed to coming to you." So I was like, so now I felt bad for half a second.
Oh, I gave up Facebook for Lent. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So happy anniversary to you, beautiful Michelle, if you're listening. And
she's not listening.
Hope to see you soon.
Yes.
She's at Target still trying to figure out how to get the car charged.
Yes, that was
kidding. Too soon, Michelle.
Yeah, that was quite a blooper.
Yeah.
That's why I'll never get one of those cars.
Oh no, you will. You drive one and you realize that when you go to that gas tank and you have to fill it up today,
especially now, yeah, it's going to be $90.
You know, I didn't tell you this. We got Willie the Jeep down in Florida.
That's a sore subject. I don't even want to talk about
I know
it.
you like driving it. It costs $84 to fill up in Florida. 84.
And
it wasn't even completely empty.
I was just telling my son,
Thank
you
you,
took Willie
President
from
Biden.
me. You took Willie.
I'll get you something else.
No, it's fine. I loved that Jeep.
Come to Tampa more.
Yeah, we don't need to get started on the price of gas either. That's a whole nother subject.
It's a whole other show.
As my mother would say, that's a god awful sin.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But back to the electric car. The beauty of the electric car is you don't have to get a grease job and oil change. You don't have to keep up the maintenance. All you got to do is make sure that the brakes and the tires work. And other than that, it's great.
I know. We talked about this before, but I just get worried about that. Like if you don't charge it and then you get stuck. And you said the thing about Target, but I don't know. I just get because Joey wants an electric car. My baby, my son.
They'll put a home charger in. You're fine.
No, we're not doing that.
Yep.
We're about to go to break.
Is your house solar?
Oh yeah,
solar. What the hell? I have no idea. We
Your
keep
house
the air.
is solar?
This is how the air conditioning's on 12 months out of the year.
That's what happens when you live with a caveman.
Yeah, no, it's not solar. And I'm sorry, we're not greenies yet. And what can I tell you? We're just not. It's just not going to happen in my lifetime.
Oh,
my lawn's not even green.
No, exactly right.
By the way, I had, since we're talking about family and everything else, I have to say that, I had heard a lot of complaints about my boy Fitz, and I kind of like Fitz.
You can have him.
Yeah,
Fitz is our dog.
Fitz can sleep with me tonight.
I'll fly him first class back to
Our golden retriever.
Yes,
you will go home to California with dog hair all over your suitcase, everything.
You can make your own jacket. It would keep you warm if he was laying on your lap.
See, so what I would say to that is, Tommy, have cats and realize that you will love the love of a dog, because as much as I love these two cats that Michelle has and that we have,
you don't.
Oh no, I don't. But I put up with them. And,
I have a cat phobia. They freak me out. They scare the crap out of me.
Maddie, I need a sound effect.
Like predators. Like I really get scared. But I understand that cat lovers really love cats, but I'm just not one of them.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, if I put it this way, if the cats would react the way they act for Michelle, because she literally calls them and they'll come. I mean, it's like a dog for them. But for me, they're like, look at me like, what? You don't have food? No, I'm not coming over there. So I love having Fitz.
I'm glad we're going to break and we're leading into a movie subject and a little more sports. We'll end with this Friday. We'll end with some more March Madness talk. But you're listening to WWBA 8:20 a.m. Tampa Sports Talk, Florida. Jimmy Leyritz, Tommy Center, and Robin Delory live from the freezing Old Bridge, New Jersey varsity baseball game.
We'll be back.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Isaac Lowenkron.
Today, the Cleveland Browns held an introductory news conference for Deshaun Watson.
I literally found
22
those cat
women
noises
filed
like last
lawsuits
second. That's
against
why I was
Watson,
playing them.
alleging sexual assault misconduct. 2 grand juries have declined to file criminal charges against Watson in connection with those allegations.
I know these allegations is very, very serious, but like I've mentioned before, I've never assaulted any woman. I never disrespected any woman. I was raised by a single-parent mom. I was raised to be genuine, so I've always defended that, and I will continue to stand on that.
Then a short time ago, Browns owners Jimmy and Dee Haslam held their own news conference via Zoom, where Jimmy Haslam was asked about, what was his name again? Oh, yeah, Baker Mayfield.
We think highly of Baker. and did not get down on him. And I know there's a statement that we needed an adult in the room, and that's not true. And Baker gave it everything he had while he was here.
This is the Big 8.
Sports, news, information, and entertainment.
820 WWBA. The Big 8.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Lang, host of popular talk show Ask the Doctor. I have researched and developed several nutritional products to keep you healthy and happy. Are you overweight? Be honest. Life can be challenging and sometimes quite miserable when you're overweight. Losing weight will make you feel better, look better, and make you much healthier. However, this can be quite difficult. I have developed a system called Fortify Healthy Weight Loss Bundle. This is a combination of 16 organic superfoods, enzymes, probiotics, and grass-fed whey protein. When used as a meal replacement once a day, this is the answer to a healthy weight loss. Simply mix the superfood with the protein in a shaker and drink as one of your meals daily. Then take the enzymes and probiotics with other meals. And voila, you're off to losing weight. Go to fortify.com. That's FORTIFEYE. Remember the EYE in Fortify. This healthy weight loss bundle is already discounted for your convenience. I am Dr. Lang, and I am helping keep America fit and healthy during this time of precautionary change.
Hey, you ever wanted to get into the radio business, but no one is hiring? Well, if you'd like to give it a shot, we have entry-level openings right now. We'll teach you the basics of radio, and if you have what it takes, the sky's the limit. If you like talk radio, whether it's sports or news talk, email us today. Contact@newstalkflorida.com. That's contact@newstalkflorida.com. We have a lot of room for growth in both news talk and sports talk, so email us today. Contact@newstalkflorida.com.
There's a lot of boring radio stations to listen to in the morning, but we're not one of them. Bubba the Love Sponge, 6 to 10.
Our amount of listeners on AM 820 might freak people out.
Trust me, a lot of people are tuned in to 820.
Big 8.
The Big 8.
A portion of the upcoming broadcast is brought to you in part by the law firm of Catania and Catania, award-winning personal injury, auto, and motorcycle accident attorneys, serving Tampa Bay families for over 28 years. Offices Tampa, not attorney spokesman.
I would like to introduce to you at this time
the King and the Cop.
Okay, hit it!
Let's get back to the show.
Oh, welcome back. We are the King and the Cop, live from New Jersey. Old Bridge, is it?
Old Bridge, New Jersey, yeah.
And I'm joined by Robin DeLoria, as our boy Tommy Sutton had to take a little bit of a break to try to get those legs warm again.
Yeah.
But
Jimmy,
we're getting ready for a big segment, Robin.
Yeah, I know. And I hope you don't mind that I have to lead up to that a little bit. And I know it's not happening right this second, but I wanted to ask you that you have a wonderful book out, right?
Yes, called Catching Heat.
Yeah, and it's all about your life, and it's very, very, very good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and so I didn't know if I was supposed to do this and spoil, who's coming on next, because you were going to do a lead-in for that. So I just realized that. So let me just talk about the book real quick. I want to know, first of all, how long ago was that written?
Well, the book was originally written in between 2004 and 2007. It was called The King and Dad. And was all about leaving the game of baseball and becoming the best teammate of all. And that was Dad when I chose to quit the game of baseball in 2004 because the judge in Florida, I had just gotten custody of my boys and I wanted to go back and play for the Padres. And the judge in Florida said, if you go back, you'll have to give up custody. And I was not going to do that. So I retired from the game. And between 2004 and 2007, a guy named Burton Rocks and I started writing the book. And, unfortunately, in 2007, I had the accident. And when HarperCollins found out about the accident, they said, listen, we don't want to go forward with this. We want to wait. And then the 3 years of waiting for trial and finally being cleared, a woman came to me and said, I heard your story. You should write a book. And I wrote the book. And I did the first 10 chapters were already written. And then I had Jeffrey Lyons and Doug Lyons, Jeffrey and his brother Doug, collaborate with me to finish the last 3 chapters, which were all about the struggles and everything that I went through with the trial and how the state of Florida was wrongly accusing me of what they were doing. And just telling that whole story also in the final 3 chapters. And Doug Lyons, who's a big baseball guy, and Jeffrey's a big Boston Red Sox fan. So unfortunately, we'll have to talk about the Red Sox this next segment. But he came to me and I went to them and said, can you guys help write my book? And they said, absolutely. And we started meeting and Doug said, you know what? We need to change the name. We need to change the name to Catching Heat.
Love it.
Because you were a catcher And during this trial, you've caught a lot of heat.
Yeah.
And he said, I think that's a great title for it. He agreed, and that's how it became Catching Heat.
You know, you see me goofy a lot and I joke around a lot because I just like to do that, and that's just who I am. But just to get a little serious, I have to commend you on your honesty, and that had to be really hard to open yourself up and be so vulnerable like that. And I wish everybody would read it, because we all make mistakes in life, and some of us are just too afraid to admit them, and you did it on this grand scale and just opened your whole life up to, and that takes a lot of courage, I have to say. Well, probably scarier than playing in the World Series.
Yeah, the company that helped write the book was out of Deerfield Beach, Florida, and the editor said, listen, you've played with everybody. All these guys know your story. Everybody in New York, you were all over the newspaper, everything else during your playing days and things like that. People know that you weren't this angel. You can't write this book like you were Derek Jeter.
Right.
Okay. And she said, you need to be honest. You need to tell the truth. But, well, we don't have to get like completely everything that you were doing in the nights out and everything else, but you need to talk about it. You need to be honest. And I said, you know what? That's why I want to write this book. But the way God works sometimes, when the book first came out called The King and Dad, it was really a feel-good kind of like, I beat the odds, I made it to the big leagues, I quit because of my children. And then the accident really, really made the book have some guts to it and really talk about what it was all about to go through something tragic, to go through something difficult, and not something that was just another World Series and another championship, but personally going through a rebirth with God, refocusing your life on what's important. And it was just an opportunity to, kind of like, I feel like God said, you know what, that's a great book that you could have written, but this book's going to have more of an impact on people. And it's going to show people that maybe you had a little bit of a selfish life as a ball player. But you know what? You've learned something, and your life is now selfless, not selfish. And I think that was a big part of it. And I think that's the reason why, I went through what I went through. And it was painful, but it was something that we grew from, and we've gone forward. And that's why the name Catching Heat became perfect. And that was because of Doug Lyons and Jeffrey Lyons.
I love it. I really do. And I just think, like, again, I commend you, because I don't know a lot of people that could do that. I mean, you're a household name, especially, up here, and you're a New York Yankee, and that had to have been so scary, so I even in everyday life, when you think about people that are afraid to say, that they fell, or, so multiply that by a billion when it comes to, you, that I just think it's amazing that you had that strength to do that.
No, thank you. I
You're a
appreciate
celebrity,
that.
And it's hard for a celebrity. You're being put on a pedestal, and then it's hard for a celebrity because you feel like you want to, you're disappointing your fans, or you don't want to lose that. So
well, it was interesting, Robin. One of the first things that the pastor of my church said to me 6 days after my accident, when I was struggling for answers, going, why would God put me through this? Why am I going through this? And all these other things. Before I read the book, The Purpose-Driven Life, and realized there's no why. It's what am I supposed to learn from this? But the pastor of my church said, Jimmy, God could have taken you that night. He didn't. He left you here for a purpose. And at the time, I didn't understand what he meant. And Robin, I can tell you now, 13 years later, I know what it meant.
Nice.
And it's pretty amazing that, when you look back on things like that, and you realize that, there was a reason that I wasn't taken that night, because it could have easily have been me. And just like I said, it's just very fortunate, unfortunate that we had to go through that, but at the same time, just how sometimes something negative, just like 9/11 and other things that have happened to us, that we turn some negative things into a positive, and try to gain something out of the tragic things that happen in our lives. And it was just like I said, it was an opportunity for me to write a book, to share about beating the odds, but also just about growing in your faith and having faith that the system works out. And for me, fortunately, it did.
I think you should do some TED Talks.
Well, I've been doing a ton of public speaking lately, a lot of corporate speaking. I've given my testimony at churches. That's one of the big things now that COVID's being lifted that we hope to be picking up again, and we'll see what happens. But,
you know what else I hear? Kids in their, not kids, but young adults in their early 20s, or, sometimes when they get, down and they feel like, they need guidance and direction. I feel like that's really the kind of thing that they need to hear, from someone like you. So they hear it and they can get re-energized to know that no matter what happens in their life or where they're going, they might be confused about where they're going. That's a tough time, or teenage years even. And then just to see that, I just think it's wonderful.
Oh,
Here.
Yeah. No, thank you, Robin. No, I appreciate that, Robin. Thank you so much.
Because I smell the Chick-fil-A.
Well, and I believe we have Jeffrey Lyons coming on in just a short second, but thank you so much, Robin. No, but we got Jeffrey coming on.
And I smell the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, we'll go to break in like 30 seconds just so I can call Jeffrey.
I got you a Diet Coke. Do you drink that?
That's fine, yep. Yeah, so we are freezing, and we're going to feed ourselves in a little while, right after we're done with this next segment. Do we have Jeffrey Lyons on yet?
Not yet, but he will be coming up shortly, right after the next break.
Oh, okay, we're going to go to break before that, though. Did you were able to warm up a little bit as you took a little bit of walk?
I was talking to mutual friends back here, and it was. It's a lot warmer in the summer. So I'm wondering if Mikey's going to get one more.
Robin did a terrific job filling in for you, and we shared. We got a little more serious for a bit. We got away from a little thing, and
you did.
I can be serious,
And we had a nice little segment there. Thank you, Robin. And now we're going to move forward with this next segment after our break, and we're going to talk about the Oscars that are coming up on Sunday, and we're picking our top 10. You know what? Let's go top 5, because if people can't give 10, we'll kill Matt in studio to get 10 from each person. Let's go our top 5 of all-time sports movies. Call it 727-518-0820. Give us your favorite.
Yeah, let's knock Rudy right out of the box.
What about Sandlot? Did you like Sandlot?
Yeah, Sandlot, yeah. But,
would you consider Little Rascals in your...
No, the whole series.
What about the Bad News Bears?
Bad News Bears. That could be in there. That could be in there. Walter Matthau.
There's his character, Bunkmeister.
We're going to break again.
All right, we're going to break. WWBA Sports Talk Florida.
Anybody
We'll be back soon. The music's going to be out for the break.
The Yankees play here. The Big 8 Sports. Your home for New York Yankees baseball.
This one in the air to left. He's at the wall, and it is gone. Gleyber Torres just hit one in the left field seats.
Catch every pitch. Tampa Bay's home for New York Yankees baseball.
820 WWBA.
The Big 8.
Some law firms advertise that they are the largest. In law, largest is not always best. In fact, your case could get lost in the shuffle with one of those very large law firms. Catania are family-owned. They are Tampa Bay's attorneys representing clients who have experienced auto and motorcycle accidents. Your case will need a local attorney to get a settlement in your favor. Catania serving Tampa Bay families for over 28 years. Referrals on request. Get the local law firm to represent you. They don't get paid if you don't get paid. Catania, putting families first.
Car accident, motorcycle accident? Call the local attorneys today. Catania, offices Tampa.
Non-attorney spokesperson.
Do you love driving, but you hate your expensive car payment? Open Road Lending can reduce your current car payment by as much as $100 a month or more. Yes, it's easy to refinance your current car payment and save up to $100 a month. Could you use an extra $100 a month? Then make this call to Open Road Lending today to learn how you can lower your current car payment. It's easy, only takes a few minutes, and there's no cost or obligation.
Okay, I'm just letting you guys know Jeffrey is on hold. We'll go to him right out of break.
The comfort of your home. Call today and see how much you can save.
Call 800-871-9417. 800-871-9417. That's 800-871-9417. Call now. 800-871-9417. Terms and conditions apply. Financing is available with approved credit. See openroadlending.com for details.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited.
They do not give up until you pay. They put a lien on my house. How about you? Do you owe back taxes? Call Tax Solutions now and get some help. For a limited time, the IRS offers a tax forgiveness program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Our team can make it easier for you to pay back taxes, avoid tax liens, and get a fresh start. Sometimes you just need a second chance.
I call Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
At Tax Solutions Now, our affiliates are all accredited by the Better Business Bureau and members of the National Association of Tax Professionals.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now. Call 800-398-7054. 800-398-7054. 800-398-7054.
It's time to get back to the show. The King and the Cop continues with Tommy, Jimmy, and Robin.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. We are here live from the baseball field at Oak Ridge, New Jersey. And we're watching Tommy's grandson and son-in-law.
Well, did you really go there, my grandson? I mean, I know I say he's the 2038 first-round pick, but he's only 2. But, yeah, my son-in-law is the head coach, and Robin's son is playing against him today.
Well, we're getting ready for our next segment, and, of course, with the Oscars coming up this weekend, I thought, who else better to have on our show than a good friend, an old friend of mine, and he is a 5-time New York Emmy Award winner. He has reviewed more than 15,000 movies, 900 Broadway and off-Broadway plays, interviewed over 500 actors, written and co-anchored 8 books, co-hosted 3 national movie reviews on PBS, MSNBC, and the NBC stations, has received 2 honorary degrees so far. He has lectured on journalism and television techniques at colleges and civic groups across the country, and on baseball trivia at the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C., and 4 times at the National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum. Also, he enjoyed a career in television and radio spanning over 50 years. My next guest, who co-authored my book with his brother Doug called Catching Heat, is Jeffrey Lyons. Jeffrey, welcome to the show.
Hey, listen, I have Mark Wohlers on the other line. Should I put him on?
Unfortunately, I think if we went to Mark Wohlers, we'd have a dial tone. How you doing, Jeffrey?
Well, good pitchers. Dennis Eckersley gave up the home run to, in the World Series. So they sometimes it's better you hit it off a good pitcher, right, rather than some call up.
Exactly. So I was telling Tommy, Jeffrey, that when we were writing when I first decided to write my book, I said, you know what? Let me call this guy. I've had him on my radio show when I was doing MLB.com. We talked about movies and baseball and everything else. And I said, but I'm not sure if he'll write it or not. And what happened when I gave you a call? What'd you tell me?
I forget. I said, but we only talk because you played for my Red Sox, albeit briefly.
That's it. You said the only way I'm writing this book is because you played for my Boston Red Sox. Tommy,
actually, you said
Jeffrey's a huge Red Sox fan.
I know he's the Red Sox all-time roster. I had the joy of picking the greatest players at each position and honorable mentions and they came up for a cup of coffee, and I have a chapter of players who played ever so briefly for the Red Sox on their way to the Hall of Fame. I didn't realize that Al Simmons, the Hall of Famer, you think of him as a Philadelphia A, but he played for the Red Sox, I think, in 1944, when all the other players of note were either retired or in the war. But they don't have I could find no Al Simmons Red Sox card. I illustrated the book with my collection of Red Sox cards, so it was a lot of fun. It's a great honor.
I like it. Well, it was funny because, the station that we're on, Jeffrey, carries all of the Yankee games in South Florida. And I said, listen, today I'm bringing on a guy that's a Red Sox fan. We have to talk about the Red Sox.
Jeffrey, yesterday, Middlebrook said that New York is a rat-infested city and stinks like garbage. So I think that rivalry is cranking up again before the 7th starts.
He's entitled to say that. He shouldn't. The Yankees have always been very solicitous to me, very nice to me, and they're good people there, and they're understanding. And when Derek Jeter owned part of the Players Tribune, my son was one of their league correspondents, and I went to the opening party they had, and I came in it was winter about 5 or 6 years ago, and I had my Red Sox hat on, my Red Sox scarf, watch, just all the Red Sox stuff I could wear. And I walked in. He took one look at me and called security, and then. Afterwards, I put my hands on his shoulders and I said, "I'm so glad you retired Frank Crocetti's number 2." Frank Crosetti was, as you may know, was the Yankee shortstop for many years in the 1930s and early 40s, and then was lucky to be the third base coach during their glory years in the 50s and 60s. He loved it, because he knows the history of the game. He's a good guy.
Yeah, that's so funny. When Jeffrey was writing my book, when we were writing the book, he showed up at my hotel to interview me to go over the things completely with Red Sox gear on. It was hilarious. It was very funny.
But I tone it down now. After all, they have won 4 in this century. So I got to be a little bit of a good winner and just let developments unfold as they may.
All right, so real quick, before we get talking about movies and everything else, what about this year? What about some of these moves that these made with Story and everybody?
You're talking about the Oscars? Are you still there? Have we lost you?
I lost them on the call. We lost the guys on the Zoom call.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It sounds like we lost them on our end.
Yeah.
Why don't you call back?
All right, we'll work on it, okay? Yeah, this is what happens when we have technical Anything?
Recording in progress.
No. Guess we're back.
You're on. Go.
Can you hear us, fellas?
Not only can we hear you, you're on.
No, I'm asking them.
Can they hear you?
Hi, Robin. Yes, we can hear you.
No, she was asking me. No, they cannot hear me. They can't.
Can you hear them?
Can you hear us? Hello. No, they don't have us.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. While we work on getting reconnected, we're going to try to go to spots.
All right.
Check.
Welcome back to the King of the Cop with Jimmy Leyritz, Tommy Setner, and Robin Delory. We're live, back on the air. Sorry about that little technical difficulty. We're out in Oberst, New Jersey today, doing a little remote show. We had Jeffrey Lyons on. Jimmy is...
Jeffrey, are we still here?
We're going to try to reach back out to Jeffrey. We had a great interview, great guest.
Yeah, we were just starting to get really into some good talk right there.
Yeah, what a accomplished guy, even though he's a Red Sox fan.
Yes, yeah, we don't hold the Red Sox thing against him. That's okay.
Yeah, so we've had
But one of the great things, you heard Michelle today when we were going to the airport, talking about she's getting ready to take her trip to Paris. And one of the great stories and great things that Jeffrey's had been a part of is all about Hemingway. Right. And he wrote a book, Hemingway and Me. That was one of Michelle's favorites, probably right next to the other book that he gave Michelle one time and signed it to her. It was called Stories My Father Told Me, Notes from the Lion's Den. And like I said, just a great guy.
Educated man in so many ways, Jimmy, in so many different subjects, It's amazing. What a career.
Do we have you back yet, Jeffrey?
Well, we got about 5 minutes to go. If we get Jeffrey back, we'll jump in, and we definitely...
He's on. Jeffrey, can you hear us?
Oh, great.
Mr. Lyons, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, well, glad to have you back. We were talking. That's what happens whenever you talk about the Red Sox.
Listen, I was on walking. I don't play golf, but my son is an avid golfer. He's in 9 handicap or 8 handicap. So I was walking with him, and you hit a home run for the Red Sox, and you could hear me all over the golf course.
Oh yeah, that was the Seattle Mariner game, I believe. We talked about this before. Well, Jeffrey, I was just you weren't on there when I started talking about some of your accomplishments as far as the books and things that you wrote. And my wife is such a big fan of yours, and you've given her a couple books, and I was talking about Hemingway and Me, and of course Stories My Father Told Me, Notes from the Lion's Den, which is one of her favorites. But she told me that she wanted me to tell you she's getting ready to go to Paris, and she's going to take my daughter to see Hemingway's flat. So you've been an inspiration for her.
Wow, he spent his formative years as part of the lost generation in Paris.
Yes. So Jeffrey, just tell us a little bit about some of the great things, the opportunities that you've had through your father and through yourself, as far as being able to interview people and of course going on to becoming.
My father was a beloved columnist, a Broadway columnist, not a gossip columnist. He wrote 1,000 words a day, 6 days a week for the New York Post when it was a very different paper than it is today. And he was published all over the world. And he would have anecdotes about people. He never used the word celebrity. And he would write things that people never knew happened, or that he would get directly from the people who gave him the stories. He also insisted on exclusivity. And he wrote about 100,000 different people, 12,478 words. Over 12,000 columns, and I had them all, and I put them into 2 books, and then I have put all the Hemingway, because I have found all the letters that he and Hemingway exchanged, and Hemingway had the greatest influence on my life. Even though I only met him when I was a child, he and my father were very good friends. And when Mary Hemingway found the body, she called our house before she called the police to have my father tell the world. It's because of Hemingway I've been to Spain 37 times. Do you see a pattern here? And speak Spanish and travel with a matador and all that. It was his influence. And I did like Ken Burns' Hemingway biography, and I never saw any of the gruffness and the sadness of his life. I was a child. He wasn't going to let me see that. But we went back to his house. Joe and Jan Castiglione, the Red Sox announcer, and my wife and I went back to where we had visited. We were their house guests when I was a child, and I went back with our daughter and her then fiance, now husband, 3 months later, because I spoke at the Hemingway Colloquium. I'd always wanted to go back to Cuba and see the house, and it's still there, and I had such memories of it.
Yeah, you've had some amazing experiences, and I'm going to have to get you back on here to talk more about that, because to me, that's what the Jeffrey Lyons is all about. But we only have a few minutes left because of the technical difficulties that we had. And one of the biggest reasons I wanted to have you on here today is we were talking about with the Oscars coming up on Sunday. Give me your top, let's top 5 all-time sports movies that you would pick?
I loved West Side Story, and I loved Parallel Mothers, which was not nominated, though its star Penelope Cruz was. And my favorite film turned out to be Coda, a very, very, very sweet movie about deaf parents who have a deaf son, and they have a perfectly hearing daughter who wants to be a singer, which is like wanting to be a painter when your parents are blind. And it's a very sweet movie. I hope it wins. It's the St. Peter's of all the nominees, the underdog, that is to say. I like West Side Story a lot. King Richard, I like the performance better than the movie because there were really no surprises in it, but it's a titanic performance. There are good people in a lot of the. I'm not a fan of the Year of the Dog. I think it's pretentious and boring, but I'm in the minority. That's a strong contender for Best Picture, as is Belfast. There are a lot of good pictures. I'll be very glad when the Oscars are over we can get on to newer movies.
Exactly. Well, listen, Jeffrey, again, I am sorry for the technical difficulties that we had, and I appreciate you coming on. We're definitely going to have you on again, talk about more. We'll talk about some sports movies, whatever we can talk about. But thank you again for joining us, and best of luck to your Red Sox this year.
Thanks, number 13.
Thank you.
All right, Jeffrey, we'll talk to you soon.
And on that note, I'd like to thank my partner, the King Jimmy Leyritz. What a great opening week, and my lovely wife, who is also such an inspiration. Guts it out, does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. She's just not a pretty face. Thank you, Tampa. We'll be back Monday. It was an honor to be on the first week of this show. Many to follow, won't you say, Jimmy? We'll have a lot of shows in the future. We're looking forward to it.
Oh, yes, I'm looking forward to it. And listen, one of the best things about it is we are the lead-in show for the New York Yankees baseball season. So we will have all kinds of baseball stories coming to you from during the season leading into the 2022 baseball season.
And as I say goodbye and everybody have a safe weekend, hey, St. Peter, I'm looking up at you. Deliver us a win today, baby. Let's go, New